On this channel, $1,000,000 Made Easy, we love to run numbers for people. And we recently saw a poll of what Americans think they might need in order to retire. And it was $1.46 million. So what we want to do is just run some numbers here to see how logical this makes, if it makes sense at all. They said they would need, on average, again, they never put these numbers together, but they said the average expenses are $4,853 a month. I'm just going to go ahead and allow for $5,500 a month, which take into account taxes. Again, these are rough numbers. They also said the average Social Security benefit was $1,907. So let's say somebody retires at 60, and they want to take Social Security at full retirement age, would be 67. And they said the average Social Security benefit is $1,907. And we want to do an asset allocation. I just want to show you all the different things we can do on this channel for running numbers for you. We're going to do a 70-30 asset split. 70% staying in the S&P 500, which is what we use, the S&P 500, because we have 100 years worth of data. So we're going to do 70-30. We're going to put 30% over in the cash reserve, some kind of a bucket, and we're going to say it's paying 3%. So when the market's going down, you're not taking this money out of the S&P 500. You're taking it out of the cash reserve account, because you don't want to knock this down any faster than it's already getting knocked down in these down years. We also want to allow for inflation. That's a biggie. So we're going to do a 3% inflation rate. And we're going to go ahead and run the numbers for every single year. You can always already see that 1929 you're running out of money because there was so many down years there in a row. You're out of money in 24 years. But let's go ahead and run the numbers for every single year. What we're going to do is look at every possible scenario that would have happened in the last 100 years and just project ahead what might happen in the future. So we're going to go ahead and update this, see how many times in the last 100 years you'd run out of money given this scenario. Again, we're starting at 5,500. We're increasing that by 3% a year. And in the seventh year, it's going to be knocked down by this 1,907, which really I should have that inflated because in 7 years from now, this average Social Security would be more than that. But let's just stick with these numbers. Because if you look and see, there's only one time in the last 100 years that you'd run out of money in 30 years. You'd have a 100% success rate in 20 years and a 98.6% success rate in 30 years. Why? Because 1929, you did actually run out of money. But I just wanted to show people you don't need this 1.460 necessary if you look at these other numbers. When you start running numbers for everything, the average expenses for a retiree, what they're going to get for Social Security. Let's knock this down and just see how this might change. Let's go to 1.250 million. I previously ran a different video and I didn't do all this, so I deleted that video and started this one up. So let's go ahead and I'm going to get rid of 1929 because it always looks so horrible. Okay, now we're at a 5.28%, but that's only initially the first 7 years, and Social Security kicks in. So 1.250 million in the last 100 years. How many times were I run out of money? 1929 and 1930 to have a 98.8% success rate after 20 years and 97.2. That's at a 1.25. Let's go ahead and go with the million. The whole point of this video is, do you really need $1.46 million? I'm afraid that what that happens is it discourages people and they say, man, I'm never going to make it, so why even try? Okay, here's $1 million, still the 70-30 split, 3% COLA. Let's go ahead and update this one. We saw the 1.46 million. Now we're going to go down. Okay, we got 6 times we're running out of money. Still, you got a 92.6% success rate after 20 years and 90.1% success rate after 30 years. Around the Depression years, you had some issues, and we also know from previous experience, looking at the numbers, the year 2000 was problematic. But look at how many times you'd be successful, not just successful, but actually growing numbers. Look, 2 million, 4 million. The numbers are just incredible. If you look down through here, the kind of numbers we're looking at. So let's go ahead and do 800,000 here. Run these numbers. Soon we're going to have, some problems because there's going to be too many. But let's see, 800. Okay, we're up to 25. Now we're getting to be a little bit iffy here. You're down around the Depression years and around 73 and 74. Why 73 and 74? Because there was 2 down years in a row. When you have consecutive down years, that's when it can really knock you down, especially they call that sequence of return risk when you first retire these initial years if they're down. But even if you have a string of them in a row, those initial years, maybe in the first 10 years or so, it can really knock it down. So this would be problematic. What could you do differently? Maybe cut your COLA down to 2%. Let's see how might change the numbers here. 25 to 31, 2%, 17 to be a 79% success rate after. It all depends on what you feel comfortable with your risk tolerance. Is 800,000 enough to retire on, given the scenario that you need 5,500 and you want to give yourself a 2% COLA? Again, I'm just saying the 1.46 million I think is way out of line and discourages people saying I'm never going to get there. We saw what $1 million would do. That was probably plenty in good shape, but 800,000 might be a little bit iffy for some people with a 79% success rate. But look how many other times you'd have 1 million, 2 million. You know, it all depends on what happens those initial years. I just love running numbers for people. That's what we love to do on this channel. Please consider subscribing to this channel. Please tell your friends about this channel. If you want me to run numbers for you, just give me your beginning balance, your monthly contribution, and your desired increase. And thanks so much for watching. Please like the video and share it. Thanks for watching.